So let's move on to the second section. This is where you summarize the previous 10 days. Now the section I love completing the most is this section here, which talks about the goal. So you will set a goal in this box for the total yes trials sold that you want to sell over the next 10 days. The total appointments booked, presented to, presentations sold, post-dated payments due, the Zens in full, the Zen deferral or compression program, who cannot afford to make the full payment, so they broke it down to 2 or 3 installments for them. And then there's the Power Zen deposits, and then there's the Power Zen in full. Now the monthly billings due are the people who've committed to making payments. They could be post-dated checks, they could be cards that are scheduled to be run during the next 10 days. There's also the YET program, of course, the Yoga Entrepreneur Program. And other details that you have, you should be setting monetary goals for any merchandise, any seminars and events. I'd have a separate category for anything else that could go on in your studio. And then you have your totals run each day. Now with the running total, I keep an actual number of the cash I'm going to generate over the next coming 10 days to make sure I'm staying on track to reach my ultimate. Now in the third section of your action plan, again, I just have a summary of each of the yes trials, when they purchase, their name, a simple contact number, and whether I set the appointment for them. And if they showed yes or no, whether they enrolled in the Zen program, and whether I set a date to upgrade them in the Power Zen program. Now this in itself acts as a powerful reference. And remember, think of all these things stapled together in a little booklet. I make it an A4 size. So this is an A4 size booklet. It's not small. You can't lose it. You can't really place it in your handbag or your bag. It needs to be placed or carried separately. Why? Because it's important. That's why all things on large pieces of paper are important. Didn't we know that yet? So you want to make sure this is completed on an A4 piece of paper so you can write clearly on it. You can see exactly where you are, exactly who you need to contact. So for example, if you don't happen to have your 1 to 31 box handy, you can still schedule appointments. You can use this process and use the action plan to run and manage your leads and schedule all your appointments so that you can make sure that you keep on track. Now after we summarize the yes trials, we then have a list of people that are eligible for power upgrades. These are the folks that purchase the basic annual and need to be contacted, reference their Power Zen upgrade. And that, my friends, is exactly how the action plan works for you. It's a step-by-step process. It may seem a little tedious, and I agree, and it may seem like you're repeating data and spending an extra few minutes each day creating this plan. But let me tell you folks, just a few minutes each day before you start the day will make an incredible difference to your finances, because all of a sudden you are placing your focus on exactly what you should be doing each day to hit your monetary goals. Now, believe it or not, for some of you, this may be the very first time you've ever had an exercise or ever done this sort of planning. So many people talk about achieving goals and they talk about it in terms of fluffy numbers. Well, I like to talk about it in terms of monetary numbers, because all the greatest effort in the world, if you sat down and presented 10 people and nobody gave you any money, all what happened was you had 10 conversations that day. So you wake up the next day still with no money in your bank account and still with a lot of work to do. So focus on the numbers, people, and make sure we complete our action plan each and every day. Now, obviously, on the mentoring program, you want to be sending these details to me so I can review your numbers. I'll be able to immediately see where we can make more money, generate more revenue, more streams of revenue, almost daily, so we can make tweaks and improvements in the way that you're presenting these programs. Well, look, I hope that helps. Get this action plan printed and get it in use today. We'll catch you on the next training.